right now and make sure we get this out. Let me just announce on OFC real quick. Alright, so first off, there was, I don't know if you guys caught on, but there was a bit of a snafu with the viewer. The imp sent the viewer to the wrong arena.
Yeah, not until halfway. Not until about halfway through did we see it. Kemp has very politely pointed out that we could see it from Arcane, and we were able to watch it from there.
And so here's
that's too bad.
Here's the worst thing about that. That was like one of the craziest matches of the entire season. And they missed like the craziness that started it all, right?
Yeah, seriously. The fact that nobody saw that is really that's a shame.
So the good news is I was recording a first-person view, so I can post that.
All right.
I don't know that that's going to encapsulate the entire scope of things, but it will really well capture my freaking panic.
I was just gonna say the sheer panic that happened in G-Town. I just can't believe. Like, I kid you not. I was sitting there like racking my brain. I'm like, okay, like you can gate out, you can be rescued out. What's the third way? What's the third way? Like that whole tick. While I'm sitting there dying, I'm just like, what's the third way? Then once I'm dead, I calm down enough. I'm like, oh yeah, cure poison. We have 2 people who can do that. Like, god damn. Anyway, that was a really nice play. You guys like totally.
Unfortunately, they were also flash blind.
So for those of you that were unable to watch the beginning of the match, here's how things started off. We run into the arena. Brutes run into the arena. Sharks run into the arena. They start off with the Viper Bite onto Auorodict, and he just drops like instantly. I think he even got dispelled, right?
I don't know.
He didn't
I think
get
that
dispelled,
was just.
but we
just,
broke his weapon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Weapon break.
He got Viper Bit, which locks him down for the entire tick where he can't move, and he just like died instantly.
Paralyzed. It was brutal.
See, somebody.
Also, I just want to point out that I was sitting there spamming dirt on Slann too, but he got the choke in first. He got the top rounds.
That's right, man. And I just relogged before the match too.
Top rounds don't exist.
So, yeah, and the funny, okay, so Brutes kind of started off the whole Viper Bite thing. I think we're the team that used it the most in previous seasons, right?
Yeah, but there was a particular moment last season. It was the Season 4 finals against Quicksilver. It was the 3rd match of the 3. And we had used it on Sunada, the Centaur Druid, just to stop their second wave. And it worked really well, and we won off that pretty much. So it's kind of ironic justice that it was used against Brutes.
Yeah, and the reason...
And that we didn't have the cure right at hand.
And, to be honest, Viper Bite was totally not on my radar in the least because I've been away for a while, and I thought it had been nerfed into the ground in the meantime. I just kind of assumed that happened. Apparently not. So
it's a really situational use. You've got to have the right conditions to do it, and we got kind of lucky. We broke your group. We got able to isolate Auro, and it worked out.
Yeah, it's just.
Well, I have a question. Was the Viperbot premeditated? Had you talked about doing it before you went into the match, or was it extemporaneous? Was it something you did afterward?
We've been planning on using it all season. We've just been waiting for the right time and really the right target, because it's not a card we really wanted to pull out on, like Quicksilver. It's just not fair.
And it's one of those things that you can't use every single match. If you try and use it too much, they're prepared and they don't let you do it. But if you only try and do it every couple of matches or once or twice a season, you catch somebody off
It's the onside kick.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, had you guys been able to win off that, it would have been perfect, because this match could have been huge for you potentially. Brutes got kind of lucky with this, but the idea is, had you Vipered, and it's kind of a one-trick gimmick. But had you won the match, then that would have put it more likely that you guys would have faced Brutes in semis and went to finals off that. So it's kind of a bummer for you guys, but it was still very cool and innovative that you did it to begin with.
I mean, I just can't even get over like how if you guys, I mean, I'm gonna post the log so you'll see, but just from the get-go, you guys just like destroyed us right off the bat, and it was panic. I honestly thought we were just gonna get like clean swept there, and it was gonna be the most embarrassing thing ever. And like all I could think of in my head was like, God damn it, Flake is gonna run with this so hard. Oh my god. And so, where do you think you guys kind of lost control of it though? Because it started off. I don't know how much of this was like game plan and how much of this was just kind of on the fly, but you killed Auorodict. It seemed like Hartney, like no matter how long I waited for him to change targets, it seemed like Hartney was just doing nothing but spamming Rune of Destruction on me like 100% of the match.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
So I guess that was planned.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
Alright, because like anytime I walk in, it's just like, boom, there's 200 health gone. Boom, 200 health gone.
I was supposed to dispel, and he was just supposed to spam that, and Grindel was supposed to dirt kick you.
Yeah, so, and it worked. Like, I was blind. Every time I walk in, I got dispelled. I took that indescribable Rune of Destruction, and I just, like, for the beginning of the match, like, I just could not make anything happen.
Yeah. So the turning point for us, I think, was we let Grindel cap because he's like, I can't get drop kicked, and we let him cap, so he got put off of dirt kick duty, and the choke started happening, and you guys caught back up a little bit in health, and then Auorodict came back in, and we decided that we would mass suicide because it was 2-0, and you would come in full and then try to cap again. But our deaths got, staggered, and I had like probably 400 or 500 mana left when we decided to do this. So I was like, trying to spend my mana, and I don't know. It was, it just didn't work out well.
I was doing my best not to kill you too, but it was just, I don't know, it was getting too risky. I just had to.
I was
wondering.
Cap again.
Well, it seems like the scariest thing for Brutes. You had mentioned that Grushg started to get some chokes off, and then you guys, all three of you died together. I think it was Merilith, Hartney, and Grindel, right?
Right,
we were
close enough,
one tick apart, I think.
Okay.
I think
well,
it
you guys
was Hartney,
you died pretty
Grindel,
close together.
and me.
And Grushg had like a pretty clutch play there because Auorodict was in red, at least from what I could see in the stands, and you guys were all on him. Grindel was about to come out on the tick, and Grushg rushed to the enemy flag room and got a choke on Grindel that pretty much ended the match. Because I think if Grindel had gotten to Auorodict, then that would have been really, really bad for Brutes.
Yeah, Grushg was actually standing there. We knew he was there. I don't know if it was miscommunication on our part, but Mary was originally going to go in, get Grushg into combat, so then Grindel could just run through. It just didn't come out that way.
Just as a note, I actually was not in the room. I was over hunting down Hartney, trying to choke him, and then I saw the tick was coming up and that Grindel was going to be coming out, and I rushed over, and I just happened to get there right as he came out and choked him.
Almost instantly. Unlucky.
Yeah.
Hey,
We were
Grushg,
expecting you to be there.
I don't know if it's unlucky necessarily. I was, but
Grushg,
I just want to point
do
out
you
that I
wanna
was not
mention
waiting there, but I knew that he was coming out, so I got over there when he was coming out.
You should mention what you tried to do at the very end, which honestly, this was my aside from the actual paralyzed tick, this was my only other moment of actual panic in that game.
All right,
I saw something about an entangle.
No,
I walked in.
Here's the deal. We've been talking a little bit about the potential uses for Yank in ACFL.
Okay.
And so we weren't sure, is it gonna supersede the flag movement lag or not?
Yeah.
And we talked a little bit about before the match started, wanting to kind of test that out, see if you could drag enemy players back away from scoring, or if you could drag your guy into scoring, and was curious about that. So when he was one room away, I was like, all right, they're about to jump on him, so let me just kind of try and drag him.
One room away with maybe something like 500 health, I think, at that time. Like 2 songs of healing left in me in terms of mana.
I was like,
and then
well,
the other thing is, like, I'm sorry, but I was like, my movement was up, man. I could have moved if you didn't do that too. So I was like, oh god, I could be in there. Just please.
I wanted to try it, so.
It would have been amazing if it worked, though.
Oh, it would have been. It would have been crazy. I mean,
So I
this is
have
my moment of panic, though. I was like, oh my god, like, I need to be in there. If they get on me now, this could be over. It was close.
Yeah,
I have a
walked
lineup
in.
question about KCS, if that's okay. The question is, was Sean not available tonight? Because I would have just thought by nature that you'd want to put a Scald in if you have the Armsman to worry about. So was he unavailable tonight, or did you guys plan on fielding Hartney anyway?
I got this one. We did a lot of speculation on who we're actually going to be playing in. Sean, Nazarene, and Hartney were actually all available to come into it. And just through conversations and some of the things that we were looking at, obviously we're trying a little bit of stuff that's newer, but like we talked about in our last match, we have some pretty solid players and some guys that are getting a lot better exponentially. And so going with Hartney was kind of based upon what Brutes had going. I don't know that Sean would have done amazingly better. I mean, having a 2-3 where it came down to being so close, maybe that would have been the extra tick on there, but at the same time, utility. And so we were kind of joking that Hartney basically makes Grendel 130% more effective just with his extra attacks out on there. And I think that's really what we wanted to see, that type of damage come through. And that's really why we decided to go with him. It wasn't for any lack of, again, KCS shows up for everything. So it wasn't for lack of anybody being available. It was kind of a calculated move, and I don't know that it was the wrong one at this point, despite the loss.
No,
Hardy is a scary guy. The AoE stun and the insane damage on Rune of Destruction. Seriously, people like to whine about Conclave, but that damage on Rune of Destruction is disgusting. He's a really scary guy to put in, but he's balanced by needing the staff, I guess, is the thing.
Well, not only that, but they have the single target damage, but they don't have the multi-target chain or cone or any of that business. So yeah, they have the huge single target damage, but none of the utility otherwise.
Is there damage on that AOE the Hammer of Thor or whatever that is?
It does like greens, little greens. Yeah. But
it's not huge, but still the AOE stun on that is especially for me as the 40 con, aerial. I survived by avoiding attacks. Oh, here comes this unavoidable stun that's gonna destroy my soul. Yeah, that's scary.
I was wearing a stunning staff with my 51 strength.
Spell damage is so hard on aerials, man. You must clench your butt every time you face stars. Because I was.
Seriously, man. Every time it's like down to me to go do the melee damage on Kimpaz, I'm just like, this is awful. Deep breath. Here goes. Yeah, it's.
I'm really starting to be a little more sold on Hartney for your team in particular. I don't think it's. And here's the thing, it's a high variance strategy, which is a word I keep using today. But it's there's a potential for him to just get like completely shut down. Runesmiths are not hugely hardy. They have the AC and all that, but if you disarm them or get on them, they can drop pretty quickly. But he does have a lot of potential, like you said, with the sure striking or whatever on Grendel. That adds a lot of extra damage to him. You've got the spell eating, which when you have somebody that's spell bait, again, that greatly increases Grendel's effectiveness. And then the AoE stun, again, can help prevent people from casting on Grendel. So it's kind of, the utility is definitely there, and it helps just because of the way your team has ended up being built. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah, I do want to make a clarification about the Hartney question. I think he did really well this match, and when it's a really close match like 3-2, especially as close as it was tonight, there's always sort of a what-if question in your head. And the main reason is I'm kind of a cautious planner. Like, if I see an armsman, if a Scald or a Bard type is available, then I try to field him. So I was just curious to know what the impetus was for fielding him. I think that Hartney has been a big player for you guys so far, so I want to make it clear that I wasn't knocking on him.
Oh no, I have 100% confidence in Hartney. The thing was with the Armsman being fielded, we were planning on killing him,
Yeah,
or at
that's-
least making him a non-factor.
Because
Yeah.
of the strategy that they were picking with Merilith spamming Dispel on me and Hartney just spamming Rune, no matter like what was going on, the plan there is to just kill me with overwhelming spell damage, and then they don't have to worry about it. If they field Sean, then there's the risk that I can just choke out Sean, he gets cured, and then I just continue to choke out everybody else.
Yeah.
That's true, but at
Because
least you have
Sean
to choke two people.
Sean doesn't put any pressure on me, is the thing. Hartney does.
Well, I mean, Sean removes your pressure if he gets the no eyes, though, would be the other thing.
Yeah, if he gets that, it helps. But that's if he can get the no eyes off versus the damage is pretty much guaranteed going to go through. Whether or not it's through Sank, there's still going to be those Rune of Destructions just slamming on me over and over.
Yeah,
Plus
it's
with
always
no eyes. Sorry,
it's always
with
uncertain.
no eyes, you have
Go ahead, you finish up.
sorry. I was gonna say with no eyes, you have to do it when he's not dirt kicked, so it's hard to time it too.
Especially when you got an assassin spamming flash bomb, right?
Mhm.
Yep. I mean, that's the thing
Yeah.
that's kind of come together really nicely with our comp. Like, we can all kind of protect what makes us successful if we're playing well. I mean, Grushg was something we weren't prepared for that first match. We saw Brute 2.0, and we were like, "Psh, please bring him on. Like, whatever, that's fine."
What is
And then
this
we're like-
unboosted?
Yeah, we're like,
That
okay, we learned from that, and then came out tonight with a very different plan. And I mean, hope we put up a good fight, and I think it could have come together.
I think it definitely could have. It was nerve-wracking, to say the least. I just like I can't express it any other way. Like that entire match, I'm just like going, "Holy crap! I can't believe we lost! I can't believe we lost! I can't believe we lost!" And I thought it was gonna be a 3-0. I really did. So
We know
guys
you
did a
did.
kick-ass job. I mean,
Maybe I had too much faith, but honestly, in the prep room when I didn't see you guys all dying, I figured. I mean, I don't know. I guess I do generally have a lot of faith in the team, but I was just like, wow, they must just be really controlling things out there. Like, this is good. If I get back out, we're good to go. And I don't know. That is maybe a little bit of overconfidence on my side that I wasn't more worried. But I thought with the timing that it was okay. And that's the other thing, just the fact that I died so early before any or much other work had been done. I think that helped, given the fact that especially Grush was able to get off that ridiculous amount of choking afterwards.
yeah, I think once you hit the field again and it was 4-on-4 again, you healed us up a little bit, and then that was the point I think where it started to come back together for us, where we had the dirt kicks available to keep people off of me, and then I can start landing the chokes, and then like once I start landing the chokes, it seems like it just ends at that point. And the few matches that I've been in so far, which I think I've been in like what 3 actual matches, maybe it was only 2, but 2 of those against you guys. It seems like once I start landing chokes, it doesn't stop.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, that's fundamentally the thing about any kind of control sort of team. I mean, once you establish control, it's easy to keep it. So if you can get on top, and it's easy to maintain that. I know where someone is when I've choked them. I know if they're poisoned or not. I can just run back over there in a tick, wait for them, put them back down, run back off, do some other stuff. And you were great on that. I mean, you were on the ball with a lot of your chokes, so kudos.
Let's see, where does this put you guys in the standings? I know some of the standings are actually inaccurate. I'm trying to get Scorn to fix them. So let me take a look at what the actual standings should be.
I don't think it shifts us around too much. Just being now tied with GG, and then of course having the head-to-head and the points over them. So I think it stays the same. It just doesn't give us that leg up anymore. And then this coming Thursday, we'll shake some things out as we play catch-up on our final matches. So that comes through into it. And then looking forward, I guess our next KCS Brutes Super Match will be the last Sunday of the season. So that'll be an interesting one as we're both kind of vying for our top positions. So we'll see how that happens.
That'll be good. That'll be a fun match, I think.
I can promise you I'm going to be a little less confident going into that one. That was unusual. I mean,
can we have 3 cure poisons in that next game, please?
I mean, I think it. I don't think you're gonna get. I don't think you're gonna get that Viper Bite insta kill off again. So it might
I just
not go
can't
so well
believe
this
I
time.
couldn't remember the cure poison. I'm sitting there, I'm like, I knew that there was a third way, and it just wouldn't come to me until after I was dead. Oh, it was so stupid. That was a really nice play, though. Really, it was.
Yeah, that was shocking. That was shocking.
That's about it, right? That's what it comes down to. Is it really just it floored us, and you guys nearly carried the game away.
Yeah, well,
we had
the
a second
thing was,
opportunity also. We could have taken one on Grumpf also, but we decided rather than that, we'll put a little bit more pressure on Grushg and start running flags.
And I mean,
Grumpf, by the way, that reminds me. I was hoping he could get on this because he had a short little story that I would have loved to hear an elaborate version of. But he mentioned at one point during the match, he just sat there spamming Medio while he furiously tried to ring up a customer. And he figures now that his customer must think that he's absolutely insane.
Because for those of you that don't know, when during the weekdays, Grumpf is running his store, and so he is literally at the counter playing DSL during his matches. So a customer comes in, and he's got to run his store basically. So yeah, he mashed Medio a whole bunch, took care of his customer as quickly as possible, and then hopped back on.
That's
actually
funny
Grumpf
because
saved you guys. Because I was capping, and I was like a couple seconds from it, and he ran in and kicked me before I could pick up the flag. Well, Auorodict was on the 10, maybe. I would have picked that up. I think we would have turned it.
Honestly,
Yeah,
at that point, I was
so
terrified
close.
that you would get back on me because you had a pretty good chance of killing me at that point. I was. That's what I was saying. I think it was around then that I was down under 600 health anyway, and just a couple of songs of healing left as far as mana goes. And then Grushg got on me instead, so then I was just equally terrified.
It's like, no, Grushg, why? Why do you do this to me? I gotta keep you on your toes, man. You didn't die from a heart attack the first time, so I kind of pushed you.
Push me a little further. Okay. See how far we can go with it.
This is how I operate. I just break my team down mentally, and then bring them back up.
See if they can handle the pressure.
They've managed so far. I
Yeah.
put them through a lot of pressure, I think.
Well, now I'm getting afraid of what the next one might be.
So who are you
Good
guys up
times.
against next? Quicksilver.
Quicksilver on Sunday.
So Sharks on or Hydra on Tuesday. They're gonna be the next big one.
Yep.
Hey, Phil, we're going to have to edit Quicksilver out. We can't mention Quicksilver anymore, all right?
Yeah, apparently not. People get upset.
It's funny that you guys were talking about Grumpf ringing up a customer because we have the same issue on Hydra. At 8:30 every night, Virus has dinner with his wife. So we make jokes like he was away 4 minutes during the match tonight because he was having dinner with his wife at the time. So we make a joke about he's got his laptop underneath the kitchen table blanket, you know. It's just oh, these ham and eggs are really good, honey, and then he's typing furiously underneath.
Ugh. That's why everybody's got to read my thread. Tell your significant others what you're doing.
Yeah, honestly, actually, well, I mean, everyone's personal life is their own, I suppose. But I mean, at that point, when you're rushing through dinner, like literally like a 4-minute dinner, it's like, hi, thanks for the food. This is really good. Bye. I mean, wouldn't it just be better to be like, hey, I've got a competitive video game tonight. Do you mind if I just finish that up and then I'll come actually enjoy some time with you? I mean, everyone's got their own thing going on, but
I don't know, man. People
Too
are
great.
strange. People are strange. All right. So how do you guys think about your chances so far? I mean, you're in that third place right now. Gallowglass had that double choke composition that they ran against Hydra, and then again against Stars, where it was less effective. So they're your main competition at the moment. It looks like.
Yeah. I mean, Hydra can definitely take a game from us, and that will put us back if we are slack in that next game with them. But I think I don't know. I don't know if we saw the double choke in the last game that we were against them.
No, it was their
We didn't,
standard
yeah.
lineup.
Yeah.
Right, and we did pretty well 3-1 in them. I think that there was a lost opportunity there where we let them score. But that's the possibility that we might see that double choke since it's been so effective. And then after talking with the boys, like we always say, we don't try to look too far ahead. We do one match at a time. But for Hydra has a lot of skill and a lot of talented players that we don't ignore, and we prep for them. And the last match, that last spirit rescue for Sean across is what won it. I mean, it came down to literally the last few seconds of that victory, and he only had gotten that spirit up just before then too. So it was something that we're conscious of that we need to play better, especially against teams that are going to show up. So.
All right. Well, we'll look forward to that match then. Anything else you guys want to talk about before we hop off?
Tip of the hat to you there, Grushg man. big one.
It was a very intense,
Heartbreaker.
exciting match, and you guys did awesome. So thank you for
it was a really good match. Great match.
Yeah.
most exciting match I've been in all season. That's for sure.
Yep.
So thank you guys again. Thank you for coming on and talking to us, and we'll have to see what happens in our next match.
Sounds
Yeah, we're
good.
looking
Yeah.
forward to it.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks so
Good
much.
luck, everyone.